Hi, my name is Dr. Olivia Moses and welcome to my kitchen. This is the place where healthy and delicious meet. And today we're going to be doing something really international. As you can see, I'm Indian and I'm wearing my Indian shirt on. So we are ready to do some Indian types of foods here. We are going to be making a raita. Now what raita is if you've ever been to an Indian restaurant or an Indian buffet, you'll usually see a creamy type of sauce that has cucumber and or tomato. Sometimes they put onions in it and cilantro. There's a lot of different ways to make this, but you usually have that as a condiment on the side when it comes to your chutneys and that type of thing. It's usually in that section of the buffet. Now with that, it is a wonderfully delicious condiment in that it cools the tongue. It is fresh because it has our fresh ingredients in it. And it is a really easy condiment to make. And when you say it's Indian raita, it sounds super exotic. Now, what are the ingredients that you need? Oh, and I forgot to mention, it is vegan and delicious. Here we have some soft tofu, we have salt, we have garlic, we have onion powder, we have all-purpose seasoning adobo from Goya that we're going to throw in there. We have cucumber, tomato, and these wonderful green scallions. And then we also have lemon, and that is it. It is super simple and super easy. The real quote-unquote way to make this, you either make it with yogurt, and if you are truly Indian, you make the yogurt in your home, or you can even make this with sour cream, depending on how rich you want to make it. But today, we are going to have it vegan, which means much more healthy. So now, for this part, you definitely need your favorite knife. It is very important that you have a sharp knife in this, and have you ever been one of those people who literally have a knife that is so hard to cut? If you have ever had a knife that is dull and you're really trying to chop, it is the most annoying thing. So having your favorite knife handy is very good for this particular recipe. Okay, so we have the scallions all chopped up. We're gonna stick that into our bowl here. Get some roll over. Okay. And that goes straight into the bowl. Now let's get our cucumber. Now I chop my raita quite finely. I've had others, been to other relatives' house or other even restaurants, and they have more of a chunky style. I like actually chopping mine actually pretty finely. Others also take their cucumber to a grater. And then that is like super fine pieces. And here what I'm using those individually wrapped, call them special cucumbers, kind of seedless kind. The reason why I like buying those, they don't have that waxy film on the outside that some of the regular ones do, but you can absolutely buy regular cucumbers if they don't have that waxy film on it, or you can get it off. And what I sometimes do with those is I can seed at least half of it, because you don't want a whole lot of water in this, because the tofu actually does have a lot of water and you'll find it'll separate. So let's say during the day you impress your friends with this raita that no one really needs to know is vegan, and then you come the next day and it's lunchtime and you're getting those wonderful leftovers out of the fridge. You will see that the raita has separated a bit. And that means the tofu has kind of separated from the liquid. All you have to do, oh, man overboard. All you have to do is then mix up the raita again and it'll be just as good as new. Okay, so let's see how much we got in there. Let's get some more cucumber in there. So again, this is a great thing. Now, I did say this was an Indian dish, or it is an Indian dish. So I have to have a shout out to my mother, who actually gave me the original recipe to this, making it vegan. I am lactose intolerant, so that means that Raita was a little bit out of my reach, actually completely out of my reach, for actually a number of years. And then she came up with using soft tofu. You can actually use silken tofu. And it came back into my life and it made me very happy. So we are going to actually, let's move this out so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just putting the cucumber into the bowl, and we're going to now chop some tomato. And I will say this is a beautiful dish in the fact that it just has, it's creamy, and it has this, you see the green of the cucumber and then the red of the tomato. It's just, it's beautiful. Okay, and my little tip for everybody is when you're cutting tomatoes, cut it with the skin side down. And the reason why I'm saying that is because if you have a dull knife, sometimes it's hard to get through that skin. Okay, so again, just chopping really fine these tomatoes. Those go into the bowl. So let them break up. There we go. And we have the other side of the tomato. Now these are just store-bought tomatoes. I tried to find the reddest ones I could find, but if you can grab them from your garden, even better. Even better. Okay, so we have some tomato in there, and now we are going to get some cilantro. Now, in doing this cilantro, what I'm going to do is I am going to grab some cilantro out of our jar here, and as you can see, I'm actually grabbing even the stems, and a lot of people throw away the stems, but there is a lot of delicious flavor in the cilantro stem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finely chop the entire thing. Oh, the freshness of this is wonderful. Okay. So now that all of that is in the bowl, we are going to now get to our creamy sauce. So we're going to kind of set this aside. We're going to set this aside. We're going to stick this in the sink and clean off our surface really quick. Right into the garbage. And we're going to get out our hand blender. So this is where the tofu comes in. So we're going to stick the tofu into the blender here. I'm going to break this apart. See if we can get the whole thing to get in there. And I know we can because I've done it already. Okay, so that's in there, and now here comes all the spices. So we are going to throw in the onion powder, and be generous here because you are not only seasoning. It looks like I'm putting a lot of things in here, but a lot of seasoning in, but you're not only seasoning the tofu, which really needs some flavor in it, because it'll take on whatever you throw at it. You are also seasoning all of the vegetables that you have going on in here. So we're going to also then in here, we're going to put in some lemon juice, because what we're trying to do is trying to get the tang that potentially yogurt has. We're trying to get the tang of the quote unquote yogurt into the tofu. So that's 1/2 of a lemon. We're going to get more. So keep on tasting this. If you need more salt, you can add it after you taste everything. So I like mine a little bit tangy, so I'm gonna have, I did about 1.5 lemons in this particular recipe. And a whole block of tofu, a fairly large block of tofu. Okay, and that liquid is gonna help it spin. So we are going to put this top on. Get that nice and tight. Shake it up a bit. Let's do it. And it's done. Okay, so we're gonna pull our bowl out to the side, push everything over. Clear up some space here. And then look how gorgeous this is going to look. I'm gonna pour this all over the top of this. Okay, and we're just gonna take a fork, and I'm taking a fork just because in case any of the cucumber and the tomato stuck together, the fork is gonna kind of get to it a little bit better than any type of spatula or spoon. And you want to incorporate that really, really nicely. Now, if you're getting really fancy, you can throw some mint in here. If you want to get really fancy and throw other vegetables, feel free to do that. When it's my kitchen, I cook it how I like it, and when it's your kitchen, you just throw anything into this and it will really taste delicious. You can use this as a condiment, not only for Indian food, for anything you feel like it. Look how gorgeous this is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a few more sprigs of cilantro just to get fancy. And you know I like things to look nice and to get prettied up. We're gonna throw just a little bit of cilantro in the center. And there you have it. Delicious raita, Indian style with tomatoes and cucumbers. Gorgeous, and it happens to be vegan. Thank you for joining me. My name is Dr. Olivia Moses, and thank you for being a visitor in my kitchen. Thank you for joining me and spending some precious moments out of your day in my kitchen with me. It is always exciting when we have a new guest, so I'm going to ask you to subscribe as you leave so you can be a guest every single time we have a new video. Thank you for joining me, and subscribe.